Hi there and welcome back. It's Lisa from Critters'n Ink Designs in Ontario, Canada. And today I'm really excited to share something new with you. It is our Stampin' Up! Hot foiling system. Now, I don't have a picture. I forgot. But let me go down to my desk and let me just show you how freaking cool this is. So this is the new Stampin' Up! Hot foiling system. It is made by Spellbinders, so you know the quality is going to be amazing. Well, Stampin' Up! Quality is amazing anyway, but and this is a whole new version of this particular model. So this is a new model, and it's my understanding that Spellbinders will be coming out with their own version of this new model later this year. But we, as Stampin' Up, got the first release. They were guaranteed the first release, so I'm really excited about it. The machine is this little platform, and it plugs in here. And it comes with a silicone mat, and this will protect your table. And I can feel it's warm. I've been playing with it a little bit. So I just got mine last week. I haven't had a lot of time to play with it, but it's really awesome. Let me just get that out of the way. And I'm really enjoying it. So you get the platform and the silicone mat in the box, as well as this magnetic pickup tool, and I'll show you that in a second. And then you also get two plates. So one is like a green hot foil shim, and then you have your spacer plate. And then there's also this is your cooling station right here. And what I did was, now what did I do with it? Oh, I just had it. Don't you hate that when you just have something in your hot little hands and then the next time you look for it, you can't find it? I had laminated the instruction sheet, and now I can't find it. I just had it in my hands, so it's here somewhere. Oh, here it is. Okay, I found it. So I took the booklet and I just laminated it so that I can have it handy all the time. So this little booklet also comes with it. So this is box number 1 with your instructions. Now, box number 2 contains your power source and the plug for the wall. And the reason they ship them separately is because it's international, and different markets will have different plugs. So ours is like your typical 2-prong plug, but this part is the same, like on all of the units. So I also purchased. Now I was really thrilled with myself. I've been saving up my reward points, and I actually got this for free. So I just used up my reward points, and I just had to pay the taxes and shipping. So that's pretty cool. So if you are one of my customers and you haven't registered for your points, do it. Do it. If you don't know how, ask me. If you're in Canada and you need a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, reach out to me. I'm more than happy to help you. So I went ahead and I ordered a few of the items, and then I liked them so much that I actually this morning ordered most of the rest of what they have available for the heat foils. So what I got so far is the classic greetings. So this part is the hot foil, and then they come with the matching dies. And then I also got this butterfly flight. So this is the hot foil plate, and then these are dies that match. And this one also comes with coloring masks. There's 4 masks in here, 4 stencils to color your butterflies. Now, I haven't had a chance to play with this one yet, but here are your 4 stencils to color your butterflies. So this is next on my list. I do have to work the rest of the week, but I can't wait to play with this one. And then we have also a full plate, like, I don't know what you call it, like a cover plate with this floral. And I do have one made. I'll show it to you. It's beautiful. And then there's the Sweetly Sentimental hot foil dies. So your hot foil part are these sentiments, and then this is one die. Let me show you. So it's one plate and one die. So you would hot foil with this one on your machine, and then once you've got it hot foiled, you cut it out with this one. So I will do a sample of this for you. And then this is how this little tool works. This is going to be really hot when it runs through its series. So you just pick it up like this and then place it on your cooling station so that you can either add a different die or, turn off your machine and let it cool off for the night or whatever. So there's this one. And I think that's all that I ordered. I don't think I added anything else. No. So here is what I've done so far. So look at this. Look at this. Ah, isn't that amazing? So pretty. And I'm not a singer. So there's that. And then I actually tried it on window sheet. Not too shabby. Let me see if I have a piece of white paper here. I'll put it on the back of here. So I did it on window sheet, so that's cool. And then here's a little reminder, not a reminder, but a heads up. I didn't realize that it didn't come with foil. So don't forget when you order this to order the foil, because it needs a special kind of heat transfer foil. It's heat activated. Now, fortunately, I did have some and I was able to play with it, but had I not, I would have had to wait for my second order, and that would have really bummed me out. But this is the pink. You can't really, I don't know, can you see if it's pink? So there's pink available right now, and silver and gold. And apparently there are more colors coming. Now here are the butterflies. And look at, this is done in, now this was a foil that I already had. It's like a rose gold, but I've ordered the Stampin' Up foils, and they should be here. It takes about 8 to 9 to 10 days for it to come to Canada, so it should be here by the end of next week. But isn't that pretty? Look at that. And then the stencils, you can go ahead and use your blending brushes and fill in your butterflies. Or if you want to, if stencil is not your bag, you can go ahead and just use your watercolor pencils, or you can also use, your ink, your alcohol markers or whatever. And then what I did was I took the skeleton. Do I have a skeleton? I do not. We'll create a skeleton. Oh, so when you foil and you peel it off, you end up with kind of a skeleton. I don't have one, but we'll create one. But I took the back of this foil plate, and you're supposed to heat it up this way. I turned it over. Why not, eh? I turned it over, and then I used my piece of foil that had the lettering on it and laid it on there and ran it through my cut and emboss machine. So I'll show you how to do that. This is not part of the lessons, but having done foiling before, I thought, you know what? I'm going to try it. The worst case scenario, it's not going to work. Well, it worked just fine. So we will show you that. What else was I going to tell you before we get going? I made a couple of notes. Oh, by the way, also, if you order this system from Stampin' Up, they will also include the I think it's called Metallic Magic class. It's an online class. In Canada, it's $41, but it is free when you order oh, this is still hot. It's free when you order this system, and I believe they're including it until January. So that's a nice bonus. And I did print it off. It's over here. I'm not 100% sure when the class is going to be videoed, but there's lots of information about what what you need to do to prepare to take the classes with yeah, it's called Metallic Magic. So that will come. You'll get an email with a link to this class when you purchase this system. So why don't we plug it in? I'm going to go ahead and plug it in. So when you plug it in, this plug-in is magnetic. So I'm just going to pop that in. And right now my red light is flashing. So that means that this unit is heating up. If you're just popping in, please say hi and tell me where you're watching from. I would love to hear from you. So we're going to let this heat up. Now, let's see. What will we do first? Why don't we do the Sweetly Sentimental? So that's this one. So I'm going to pop my foiling die right in the middle of my unit right here. And let me grab some gold foil. Oh, it's already on my desk. So I've got my gold foil, and it comes in 5 yards by 5 inches. So you get 5 yards on a roll, and each box has 2 rolls in it. So you get 10 yards in each box. So I'm going to cut this. How big is that? Where's my ruler? One thing you don't want to do is use more foil than you need. So this says I need about 3 inches. So I'm going to measure 3 inches. Maybe 3 1/4. That's about there. And this is a very flimsy little foil. And I'm just going to wait for this to heat up. I don't want to put anything on it quite yet. When I was first playing with it, I did actually put my cardstock and my foil on and let it heat. And what I found was I was getting over foiling. And what that means is I was getting foil where I didn't want it. So I've since learned that it's prudent to let your die heat first. And then I really preheat it, and then put your foil and your paper on it, and then run it through your Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. So I'm going to just clear off my desk here. As usual, it's a nightmare. So I'm going to put this over here. This is my cooling mat. I'm going to leave this over here. Get my mouse out of here. I'm going to move this, over here while it's still heating. So this takes about 6 or 7 minutes to heat up initially. Now, it shouldn't take that long for me because I was playing with it a little while ago, and it's still quite warm. But this will stay on steady, and then we're going to hit this timer. And I forget how long, where's my instructions? I forget how long that timer goes. 1.5 minutes. It'll keep heating for another 1.5 minutes, and then we can put our foiling paper on it and run it through our cut and emboss machine. So let me grab my cut and emboss machine. I need a bigger desk. So it's still flashing, and it will beep when it's hot enough, and then we'll hit the timer for 1.5 minutes. I'm gonna grab some cardstock. Is that gonna be big enough? Yep. Another thing to keep in mind, is when I got overfoiling on my green plate, it's not life or death. It doesn't affect, oh, my thing just froze. Uh-oh. Can you let me know if it's frozen? Shoot. Because it's looking frozen to me. Oh, here we go. Okay. So if you get overfoiling on your green plate, it's no big deal. It isn't going to affect how it works at all. But if it bugs you, there is a product called Undo. And what I did was I just put some Undo onto my green plate where the foiling was, and I used the end of my bone folder and just lightly scraped it off, and it didn't leave any marks, but it took the foil off really nicely. So yeah, if the foiling doesn't bother you, just leave it there. It doesn't make any difference. But if it does bother you, then just use the Undo. You could probably use Glue Gun too, because the Undo is actually an adhesive remover. So try Glue Gun. That might work too. Most households have Glue Gun to, to get rid of goo. All right, so we're just waiting for this to beep. And I'm so excited. I just ordered, there are some other, there's a beautiful leafy plate with a matching stamp set. And what else did I order? There's also an alphabet, and I didn't order the alphabet yet, but I think I might, because I'm kind of liking it. So it's an alphabet and numbers, and then there's a die that cuts them out, cuts up the letters in the alphabets, or and the numbers, I mean. So okay, so now we have a solid light, and this is flashing. So I'm going to go ahead and hit that. And I'm going to continue to heat up my plate. And then we're going to place our foil onto that when it beeps and run it through here. So that should take, it says about 1.5 minutes. So there is a bit of a waiting game, but it's okay. And then afterwards we'll cut out with our die here. But I've been playing with this afternoon. I had a really exciting morning. I cleaned Venetian blinds. If that doesn't make your day, man, I don't know what does. I actually took them outside. I got my husband to take them off the window. And I took them outside and just laid them on my outside dining table, which is holy, if you get my drift. And then I just cleaned it. And they dried pretty quickly. So then, but that was my big day. That was 1.5 hours right there. I love the look of Venetian blinds, but man alive, they are a pain in the rear. Okay, we're still beeping here. And waiting for that to heat up. Now keep in mind, this is hot. There's even a little, oh, there we go. So I'm going to unplug it. So to unplug it, I'm just going to pull my magnet out, and I wouldn't pull it by the cord. I think if you pull it by the cord too much, it's not going to hold up. So now I'm going to put my foil down, and my cardstock. Come on. So, oh, I didn't tell you. When you put the foil down, you want to put pretty side to pretty side. Okay? So let me put that down. And then I'm going to pop my, uncurl, baby. Well, this is annoying. Okay. I don't know why it's curling so much. Usually it just lays flat. Okay. So I've got my foil and my paper there, and I'm going to run it through my machine. So to do that, I'm going to take my 2 plates. I'm going to put the green one down first. That one is a little bit more heat resistant, I think, and then the clear one. And then when you run it through your machine, you're going to go really slowly, like really slowly. Like molasses in January. You want to get as much pressure as you can. There. Okay. And then here is our result. Look at that. Isn't that gorgeous? I love it. Absolutely love it. Okay, so next thing I want to do is I'm going to take my plate and put it back in the silicone mat here because the bottom is kind of hot. And I'm going to grab my plates for cutting. So I have my cutting plates here. And I'm going to take my foiled piece, and then we're going to lay our die right over it, like this. Make sure everything is centered. I'm just going to grab some tape. There, so I'm just going to tape this down. Make sure I'm straight. Like that. There we go. And here are all of our little gold foil sentiments. Look at that. Aren't they beautiful? I love them. So we have here's to another year, cheers to you, sending hugs, just a little hello, have a lovely day, here's to a lifetime of happiness, my heart is with you, thank you, happy birthday, I'm lucky to have you, and then sending bunches of love. Aren't they great? So I'm going to put those in my little, I had a little basket here. Oh yeah, right there. And then let's plug this back in. And I'm going to try to foil the skeleton of it. Now, by skeleton, this is what I mean. Okay, this is what I mean. Now, Stampin' Up! Cardstock is very smooth. And if you can also do it on colored cardstock. But the colored cardstock is milled, meaning it's not as smooth as, say, the basic white or the two-tone cardstock. It'll all work, but you'll get a different look if you use the milled cardstock. And by that I mean like just regular cardstock. You know, it's smooth, but it's not as smooth as the white cardstock. So, and then you have the two-tone cardstock. Let me grab a piece. find something that will go with the gold here. Cherry cobbler. I have a piece of the cherry cobbler here. So you can see that it's darker on one side and lighter on the other. I'm just going to cut this into a 4-inch strip. And then we're just going to, there, you'll be able to see the contrast now. So there's the darker side and here's the lighter side. Now this stuff is much smoother than our regular cardstock. So you're going to get a better finish if you're doing something more opaque like the skeleton that we're about to do. So I'm gonna cut this at 4 by 5.5, just so that it fits on there. And then when this beeps, I'm gonna lay the skeleton pretty side down and then put the cardstock on top of it. Oh, I better get these out of here. So, and then we'll cut them out. And you'll see the difference between having just the letters like this versus having the gold with the white, with the red letters behind it. Hopefully we'll see. I don't know what it's going to look like on the cherry cobbler. It should look really good actually, but we'll see. So these ones I did with the skeleton. I did that one with the skeleton. You can see I had a piece of tape there. Didn't transfer that great, but I had another one with the skeleton too. It's around here somewhere, but I'm not sure exactly where it is on this mess of a desk of mine. Oh, you know what? I'm heating the wrong thing. Hold on. Okay, I'm gonna pop that on my... I should be heating my big floral piece like this, because I want to do the skeleton. Okay, totally had a brain fart there. That's okay. So let's watch that. Okay, we're still waiting for that to heat up. Now, because I was heating the wrong die, it's going to take a little bit longer. So I may edit out that part if I do re-edit this video. I may or may not. Whether or not I re-edit, I don't know. So I haven't actually made any cards with it yet, with this system. I've just been learning the ropes and playing with it. I did have another foiling system, and they both work basically the same. But again, you always want to just make sure, you know, that the manufacturer instructions are clear. Come on. Okay, I'm going to reheat the... Now, hopefully this is going to be hot enough. I'm excited to do the butterflies and then use the stencils that came with it as part of the bundle. So I may have to play with that later today. So if you're just checking in, what I'm doing is I'm heating my floral. So I'm using the back of this one, the flat back of it, to heat up to, okay, it says it's hot enough, but I didn't have it on for the whole time. You know what, we can try it. It's only paper. So I'm gonna put the pretty side down. And then I'm going to put the cardstock on top of it. I'm going to put the dark side. We're going to the dark side. There, like that. And because we're doing the skeleton, I'm actually going to put the plate on it. And I'm going to let it sit for just a couple more minutes because I did, now green first. Because I did, I did forget, and I had the other one heating up instead of this one. So it won't let me hit the timer again, but Alexa, set a timer for 1 minute.
1 minute timer started.
I probably don't need a whole minute now, but I'll give it a go. So we'll just do a couple more seconds. Alexa, cancel the timer. I don't think we need a whole minute.
Timer canceled.
So I'm going to pull this out. And I'm going to run it through my cut and emboss machine. Now, I'm not sure, excuse me, not sure if the plate is hot enough because I had a brain fart. I put the wrong one in, but now I'm cranking. You can see how slow I'm cranking it. You don't want to crank at the same speed that you would crank through look at that. Now, it doesn't really look as if it, there's a couple of little bubbles. I don't think the plate was hot enough, but we'll see. So I'm going to pull this off. No, you can see already it wasn't hot enough because I'm getting a very questionable finish. So I didn't leave the plate on long enough. You can see that that's a no-go for me right there, which is kind of a bummer because I was excited. You know what you could do though? I mean, this is kind of rustic looking. You could use this, cut it down to 3 3/4 by 5 or something and use it as a card base. Like, you know what I mean? Like, front of a card. I'm not going to throw it out. I can certainly do something like that with this. But note to self, this was not hot enough. All right, so let's flip it over. Now this magnet is pretty strong, but it's not really strong enough to pick up this floral. Like, pick it up. Oh, it does. Well, see, it doesn't. It won't hold it though, because it's pretty big and pretty heavy. I'm going to flip it over. Let's heat this one up. And I'm going to grab a big piece of basic wood. Oh, you know what? Why don't I just use... Is that going to work? It'll work. Let me grab another piece of gold. And I'm going to cut it the same size as this cardstock. So this is the two-tone cherry cobbler. And it's 4 by 6.5. So I should have cut it 4 3/4, but that's okay. Doesn't matter. So we're going to let that heat up fully. So what my plan was with the other is to then cut out these using this. But I think that looks kind of cool. I'm going to keep that. I'm going to trim it down and use it as a card front for something. Why not? So, you know, getting used to this has been somewhat easy. And that's why while I was playing with it, I did a bunch of sentiments just to get the feel of it. And I just did. And here are some of the ones that I did using the skeleton of the thank you, or these other ones that I cut out. So it's happy birthday. That's this one here. Here it is in pink. Pink. So it's this one here. The classic greetings in the hot foils. And they're quite large, as you can see. You know, they're pretty big, but look at the glimmer on that. Isn't that absolutely beautiful? So pretty. And then I did use the skeleton for this one. Now these, I didn't line it up very well. Okay, now I'm going to hit my button for 1.5 minutes. I didn't line it up very well, so the only other one that I can really cut out is Get Well, but I had a piece of tape on there and I pulled the foil off, so I can't even really use that one, but I was just experimenting anyhow. But isn't that gorgeous? And then I was thinking, I did a little video for my team the other day. We've been able to, I ordered this a couple of weeks ago, so I've had mine for about a week. As I say, it takes a good week to 10 days for it to come to Canada, our stuff. But what I did with this, let me just get rid of some of this, is I took a punch. I took my butterfly punch, and then you could just punch out a foil butterfly. Like, look at that. Isn't that gorgeous? So don't waste your foil. If you have it, use it. There, so we're getting close here. And I've got my gold foil. I love this plate right here. So let me just put my foil down. So again, you're going to put pretty side to pretty side. And then I'm just going to, ooh, get back there. Ooh, that's hot. Get back. There we go. Now, there is a good chance that this is going to overfoil onto my plate. And as I mentioned earlier, I'm not stressed about it. I know how to get it off. Or you can just leave it on there, like whatever floats your boat. There. So, I am now going to unplug my machine and run this through my Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. And I've got my green plate goes first. And if you're going to get overfoiling, this is where you're going to get the overfoiling on your green plate. I should have used a bigger piece of cardstock, but that's okay. And then my clear plate goes on top of there. And again, you just run it through extremely slowly. Away you go. There we go. My table is slippery. There, so I'm just going very, very slowly. There we are. And did I get overfoiling? I did. See, I just got a little bit on there. And that's okay. It'll come off with the undo or Goo Gone, don't worry about it. It doesn't affect the plate whatsoever. All right, so here we have our floral. Whoa, look at this. I just love this. Look at that. How pretty. That is absolutely gorgeous. Gorgeous, gorgeous. So I am just going to refresh my chat because I am seeing nobody's chat here at all. There. Okay, so isn't that gorgeous? So this is on the cherry cobbler on the light side. That is absolutely stunning. And then you could use the skeleton on something like another piece. So to do that, I would just flip this over and reheat it. And then I'm going to lay this on there. Now, because I'm using the skeleton, I don't care if it overfoils on the paper because I want as much coverage as I can get. I'm going to use the, oh no, I wanted to use that. Let me grab another piece. I'm going to cut another piece of this. Cherry cobbler. So I'm going to cut this about, I'm going to cut it at 4 1/4. Would that be big enough? Yeah. And it's a little bit longer. I don't care. It's only paper. So we're going to let that come to a boil when it beeps, and then I will, actually I can lay it down now because we are doing the skeleton, so I'm not too concerned about whether it's gonna overfoil around the design. Like I would just place it like we did like at the last minute and run it through because this is all open. But because we're using the skeleton, it doesn't matter to me if I get overfoiling because we want it to overfoil. We want to get all of that gold onto the cardstock. Now, if the overfoiling onto your plate like this bugs you, take a piece of I just have a piece of like copy paper and put it over so that the extra foil will go onto the copy paper and not onto your plate. All right, so now I'm going to hit the button. We have another minute to go. Let's cut this off here. So basically I'm just doing this so that I don't get any more foil on my plate. It doesn't bother me that much because I know I can get it off. And this, if you missed it at the beginning, this is what I use to take the foil off my plate. And it works beautifully and it doesn't mark your plate at all. It's just an adhesive remover, like Goo Gone. If you have Goo Gone, use that one. All right, so we're gonna let this complete heating up. Finish heating up. So if you are new to my channel, if you wouldn't mind giving me a thumbs up, I'd really appreciate it. And if you aren't already a subscriber, if you wouldn't mind subscribing, I would really appreciate that as well. I'm trying to get to 1,000 subscribers and I'm on my way. I forget how I have upper middle 600. So I really would love to get to 1,000. And if you give me a thumbs up and leave a comment, it's also very good for the algorithms and stuff to recruit people to my channel. All right, so now I'm gonna just unplug it. This is just magnetic, so I'm just unplugging it. And now I'm gonna pop it into my cut and emboss machine, and I'm going to leave the paper there so that I don't get any more foil on my plate. Green one goes first. Clear one goes on top of that. And then I'm just going to run it through. Again, you're going to just run it through very slowly. There we go. So you can see we did get a little bit of foiling on there, so I'm glad I put that on there. And here is our sample. I'll go ahead and put this back in its tray. All right, so here's the big reveal. Cross your fingers. No, not the greatest. But it looks okay. It's a little bit rustic looking. Yeah, I'm not super happy with it. But again, I wonder if we had let it heat up a little bit more maybe, and maybe even had a shim of like another piece of cardstock to make it press a little harder. But still, you know what? It's not that bad. Is it perfect? No. But I'm still new to this system, so I'm going to keep playing with it and keep learning. All right, so let's turn that back over. Now, the way this works, to pick up your magnet, you just pick it up, and then to release it, you just press this little button. So there's that. So I will just quickly go over again the ones that I have. I purchased the Garden Silhouette, which is the full-size plate, this guy right here. And the Butterfly Flight, which comes with a set of stencils. So you get the foiling plates, the cutout die. Now the cutout die and the foiling plate, let me just show you the difference between a foiling plate and a cutting plate. The foiling plates are kind of a satin finish. They're not reflective, but then the cutting dies are like our normal cutting dies. You see the difference? How this one seems to have like a satin finish and this one is a shiny stainless steel, I guess, and it's got the cutting ridges, whereas this one is flatter, and it's just for doing the pressing. If you'd like to see the butterflies, I can quickly pop those butterflies onto here, and then these will cut out that. We could do it real quick. This is going longer than I had planned, but that's okay. I don't really have anywhere to go. Ooh, that is still hot. Okay. So we're going to let it heat up. Let me find, I'm just going to do it on basic white. So I have a piece of basic white. Now this is basic white thick because I pre-cut my card bases all the time. I'm going to do it in pink. Am I going to do it in pink? No. Maybe I'll do it in silver. Yeah. I wonder how well it'll show up if I do it in silver. It's going to fit this way. It is. Okay, so let me cut a piece of this. So this is the silver. So currently, Stampin' Up! Has gold, silver, and pink. And apparently there are more colors coming. And if you look on the website, starting on the 10th of July, you will see all that there is to offer at the moment. And there's more coming. Now, I kind of suspect that this is going to sell out quickly, but we got a memo from Stampin' Up! This morning that they're already reordered the system and whatever. So it's not going to, if it does go into back order, it won't be on back order for very long. And oh, there was something else I was going to say. Oh, it just went blank. Yeah, I can't remember. Oh, yeah. So it's available July the 10th, which is today's the 7th. Wednesday's the 8th, 9th, 10th. So it'll be available starting on Friday, I believe. If you want it today, you could add this to your starting a startup order if you wanted to become a demonstrator. Now, to become a demonstrator, you don't need to do the things that I do. Most of my team, there's only one person on my team who does this, like, slightly as a business. Everyone else is just a hobby demonstrator. And what that means is they just order what they like. They get 20% off everything they order, and they earn Stampin' rewards. And Stampin' rewards are great. I actually got this whole thing free with my Stampin' rewards. I just kept stockpiling them because I knew this was coming. And I stockpiled them until I had enough to get this and my dies. So yeah, they add up. You can save up your points for up to a year. And if you are currently a customer and become a demonstrator, you don't lose those points. They just transfer over to your demonstratorship. And there's a lot of perks to being a demonstrator. If you have any interest or you're curious about becoming one, why don't you just give me a quick email, Lisa@Critters'Inc.com, and I'd be happy to just go over it with you. Of course, it's never an obligation. And again, if you become a demonstrator and you decide you don't like it, I don't know what's not to like, but if you decide that, because there is a minimum that to keep your demonstratorship, to keep getting your discount, just let me, you just drop at the end of 3 months. It's not a big deal. Nobody's offended. You can just go back to being a customer, like whatever floats your boat. All right, so we are getting close here. I've got my piece of silver right here. And I have my piece of basic white. I'm just going to give it another second. What a beautiful day. I thought for sure it was going to rain this morning. I'm just looking out my window here. The sky is blue, slight little breeze. And I didn't get out for my bike ride this morning, so I might go after dinner. Okay. Now, this is kind of big, and I've got corners. So one of the things that you can do to alleviate some of the overfoiling in the corners is just to cut off the sharpness of the corners. I don't know why it works, but it does. I guess because the corners tend to curl up, maybe? I don't know. So we'll see. Hopefully we won't get any overfoiling. So I've just cut off my corners. I've just rounded them off a little bit. So I'm going to pop that onto here. And then I'm going to pop my cardstock onto there. Now, excuse me, I'm using a huge piece of cardstock. You don't need to. All right, so now I'm going to pull this apart like this, pop it into my cut and emboss machine. And I've got my green plate. It's going to go down first. And then my clear plate. Okay. And again, just run it through very slowly. I just love this. The finished gold part of it is just so stunning. There we go. Okay, so let's pull this off. Oh, look! Oh my gosh, look at how pretty that is. Now, I did get a bit of overfoiling. So if I wanted to use this as a card front, you can take a sand eraser and just erase some of the little overfoiling there. I don't know if it'll take off this big piece. Maybe. Yeah, it's not beautiful, but for the little bit of, oh, I missed the butt end of my butterfly here. There. But look at the glimmer on that. Isn't that amazing? Oh, I missed the tail of my butterfly. That's okay. So now these dies will actually cut these guys out. But if you wanted to use your stencils first, I would definitely like, what did I do with my stencils? I would definitely do your foiling first, always. And then you would go ahead and do, there's number one. So then you would go ahead and do your foiling. Oops. Oh, here we go. I had it lopsided. So as always with our stencils, the easy way to line them up, and I always do this because it's so easy to get turned around when you're using stencils, is to just make the little V here. Can you see that? Just drawing a little V in pencil, so that the next layer I know where to put that stencil. So then there's 4 stencils. There. And then you can go ahead and just stencil your butterflies and then either make a card front out of it or cut them out with your matching dies. Now in these dies, there is also other butterfly dies to make the bodies of the butterflies. Where's mine? And then there's another die in here. Oh no, it's this big one I'm looking at. Okay, so then you have like the antennas. If you wanted to make them out of, you know, shimmer or black glossy or something like that, you can cut out their I was going to call them whiskers, their antenna, and glue them onto your butterflies. But aren't they pretty? I just love this. So there's the butterfly, what's it called? Butterfly flight. There, so that's just a quick little peek at what's coming at the end of the week. So again, demonstrators can buy them now. We get first kick at the cat, and also we get 20% off. And if you're like me, I get 25% off. So it depends on how much you spend. Or you can wait until Friday, and all of this will be available to you. So I'm going to let you go here. I've done like we're just right at the hour mark, so I'm going to let it go. But stay tuned because I know I'm going to be playing with this quite a bit. So thanks for popping in. I appreciate you watching with me. And again, don't forget to give a thumbs up if you can, and subscribe if you haven't already subscribed. I would really love to have you. Thanks for